Kia ora te whānau. This is how to make an app with Thunkable. Today we are making an app about a historic event in the New Zealand Wars. I am going to be focusing on the burning of the Boyd. Happened around 1810. It's outside of the scope for you, so you're not going to be able to do your outcome on this. A quick note that you are only using this resource if you have been struggling to plan your own outcome or if you've been struggling to develop your own outcome on Thunkable. This is going to limit your grade a little bit if you follow this tutorial and build this app as I have built it. A lot of these problems and struggles are for you to figure out, but if you haven't managed to figure it out, that's okay. I'm here. We're going to do this together. Okay, today is part one. It's the planning, research planning, figuring out what we need to figure out before we start building. So, I've gotten this here. This is some information. I've created 8 different events that I want to talk about with the burning of the Boyd. I have found I've kind of titled them. I've got an image associated with it, and I've got some text as well. I've already done this work. You will need to do this as well as part of your planning. As part of my planning as well, I found a lovely background picture. I've taken this fern and I've used Unsplash. Unsplash is a really, really cool website where all of the pictures put up here are copyright free, so you can grab them and use them, and they're all gorgeous, high quality pictures. I'm grabbing this one today. You have to credit the photographer. That is part of the rules of using this. I've also found out some information on the burning of the Boyd. I've done some research. I've collected some sources. The first one I've used is Te Ara, and they've got some information on it here. I really love this picture. I really want to use this picture, but I'm not allowed because it is permission of Auckland Art Gallery, Toi or Tamaki must be obtained before any reuse of this image. It's off limits. Not allowed to use that one. So I've also looked on Wikipedia at this page, the Boyd Massacre, and I've read it and I've looked at the sources, but I really like this image and I wonder if I can use that one. And so I come down here and yes, well, I'm hiding it. It is in the public domain. So I'm allowed. Fantastic. So I've grabbed that image and I have a few other images here that associated with the event. Full disclosure, these are made with ChatGPT. Don't use that because these images are quite problematic, as you can see flicking through them. They're just for the sake of this demonstration. Okay. I found my 8 events. I've written up some descriptions that I want for them. I've found some images, a background image, a main image, and 8 images, one for each event that sort of outline each event. Fantastic. I'm coming to, first now, before we even get here, I need to plan. Oops, bye-bye. Okay, a limitation of Thunkable is that it only lets you have 5 screens. So we need to think about how we're going to plan for that. We have 8 events that we want to talk about, but only 5 screens. That means we need a generic event page that is going to populate depending on what event we want to look at. So let's design. I need a couple of screens. First of all, well, let's make these a bit smaller. I'm going to need a title screen, obviously. I'm going to need a generic event screen. I'm going to need I'm going to want a credit screen, and I'm going to want some screen where I actually choose what event that I want to go to. I think I'm going to call that one timeline. I think I've done this a little bit out of order. Let's call this one the title. Let's call this one the timeline. Let's call this one the event. Come on. And let's call this one the about, credits, resources, citations, anything that you want. It's going to go into this one. Let's call it about. Okay, so title's going to be nice and easy. I'm going to put some squiggly text in here. That's what I'm going to do for squiggly text. Whatever your title is going to be, I'm going to have a cover image here. Maybe I'll just make this little background blue. So I'm going to have a cover image there. I'm going to have a clickable button, which is going to send us to the timeline screen. And I'm going to have a little button here that's going to send us to the about screen. I'm going to, okay, my timeline is just going to be a series of buttons. It's going to be event 1, event 2, event 3, event 4, event 5. Well, and so on and so on. As many as I want, or as few as I want. Here we go. We're going to have, of course, little title. We're going to have a title up there. And then we're going button, 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 button. And that's pretty much it. Whoops. Whey, what have I done? Whoa, that was interesting. You there, you there. And this is probably going to be scrollable, so I don't know how I'm going to represent that here. And maybe I'll just drop that off the bottom so that, you know, as you scroll up on the app, it's just going to be able to keep going depending on how many we've got. Okay, here is the event page, the meat and potatoes of this app. We are going to have, of course, the event title. We're going to have we're going to have an image. We're going to have an image associated with this. What are we doing? Images. Images blue. Great. No, give me the background is blue. You don't have to do this. I'm just trying to make it clear. Reds are buttons, blues are images. I want to have 3 buttons underneath it to walk forwards or back because these events are in chronological order. So I'm going to have 1 button here to take me home, 1 button here to take me to the next event, 1 button here to take me to the previous event. And that's going to make sense because they're all in an order so that I can just flick forwards and flick back without needing to go all the way back to the timeline. Great. After that, I'm going to have a lot of text in here. Just text, all about the event. Great. I wish I could make it look more nonsensy rather than gibberish. Okay, is that the event page? That's it. That's all we need for the event page. The about page, same deal. We're going to have some text in here. And I'm actually going to leave most of the about page for you. We're going to have some about, we're going to have some credits, we're going to have some sources, whatever else you need in there as well. Cool. That's the design of our app. A few arrows to help out. Let's make these red. Timeline's going to go to timeline. This is going to come through to about, and I think I can bow these. Oh, it doesn't matter. We're here for speed. Go, go, go. Bank across to there, to about. Each of these are going to come to event, but it's going to be different depending on which event we click. And that one, whoa, this is getting messy. That one comes all the way back to this page. We probably need one from the About page, which heads back to the title page, but I'm going to leave that to you. Great. That's it. That's our plan. At this point, for your event, you should have something like this mocked up. Similar, maybe not exactly like this. You should have a series of different events, each one with something that looks like this. A database, a table with each of these numbered. Each of them need a title. Each of them need a file name of an image attached to them. And then it needs some text, some description, what you're actually talking about in your event page, already made up before we get to Thunkable. Okay, and that is part 1 done. That is the planning. Moving on to part 2. I will see you there, ka kite.